Ever wonder why, despite your best efforts, you can't seem to shake off that extra weight? Could it be more than just about diet and exercise? Welcome to the world of the unseen, the unspoken, the invisible enemy that's been giving you a hard time: metabolic syndrome. This medical condition is like an unwelcome guest at a party, often crashing in uninvited and unnoticed. It's a cluster of conditions including increased blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol levels. Together, they increase your risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Now you might be thinking, but I've never heard of metabolic syndrome. Well, that's part of the problem. Many people have it, but they don't know it. It's like a stealthy ninja lurking in the shadows, ready to strike when you least expect it. And what makes it even trickier is that it's often tied to obesity. But it's not just about being overweight. It's about where the fat is in your body. If you're carrying extra pounds around your waist, that's a red flag. But there's more. Metabolic syndrome also involves insulin resistance. That means your body doesn't use insulin properly, which can lead to high blood sugar levels. And high blood sugar levels can lead to type 2 diabetes. It's a vicious cycle, really. And let's not forget about high blood pressure. It's like a ticking time bomb, slowly damaging your heart and blood vessels over time. So you see, metabolic syndrome is a complex beast. It's a cocktail of conditions that together create a perfect storm for serious health problems. And the worst part? It often goes undiagnosed. Many people live with it for years, not knowing why they can't lose weight or why they feel tired all the time. So could this invisible enemy, metabolic syndrome, be the reason your diet isn't working? Let's delve deeper. Did you know that not all fats are created equal? Yes, you heard that right. Imagine fat as your extended family. You've got the good-natured, harmless subcutaneous fat, the kind that's just under your skin, giving you those lovable love handles. It's like your quirky, harmless Uncle Bob who loves his Sunday barbecues. Then there's the visceral fat, the more sinister relative. Imagine it as the sketchy cousin, lurking around your internal organs, causing all sorts of health havoc. This is the guy that contributes to metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. And here's the kicker, folks. It's not about how much you weigh, but where you're carrying that weight. Your body fat percentage can be a much more accurate indicator of your health than your body weight alone. So let's not judge a book by its cover or a body by its weight. So it's not just about how much you weigh, but where you're carrying that weight. Ever find yourself reaching for a donut when you're stressed? You're not alone. In fact, it's quite natural to crave comfort foods during times of stress. This phenomenon, often referred to as stress eating, can lead to a vicious cycle of weight gain and even more stress. It's a paradox that can be difficult to escape from, especially when you consider the role that stress plays in the development of metabolic syndrome. So, what's going on here? Well, stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that can increase appetite. When the stress is over, your cortisol levels should drop, but if the stress is constant, they may stay elevated, leading to ongoing feelings of hunger. And guess what? Those comfort foods you're craving are often high in sugar and fat, which can lead to weight gain and, you've guessed it, increase your risk of metabolic syndrome. But it's not just about the physical impact. Stress eating can also have a psychological component. When you eat these high-sugar, high-fat foods, they stimulate the pleasure centers in your brain, providing a temporary escape from your stress. It's a short-term solution that can create long-term problems. The relationship between stress, overeating, and metabolic syndrome is a complex one. It's a cycle that can be difficult to break, but understanding the connection is the first step toward making positive changes. It's all about finding healthier ways to cope with stress, like exercise, meditation, or talking to a friend. But remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making small, sustainable changes that can have a big impact on your health. And it's also about showing yourself a little kindness. After all, we're only human, and sometimes we need that donut. But maybe next time we'll reach for an apple instead. Breaking free from the stress-eating cycle could be a key step in tackling metabolic syndrome. Did you know that metabolic syndrome can increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes? Now let's dive into why. Metabolic syndrome essentially refers to a group of conditions that occur together, increasing your risk of heart disease, stroke, and yes, type 2 diabetes. One of these conditions is insulin resistance. In a nutshell, insulin is a hormone that helps regulate the amount of sugar in your body. When your body develops resistance to insulin, it can't effectively use the hormone. This can lead to an excess of sugar in your blood, which is a common characteristic of type 2 diabetes. But here's the silver lining. By managing metabolic syndrome, you can also manage or even prevent diabetes. This involves making certain lifestyle changes, such as maintaining a healthy diet and regular exercise. So, managing metabolic syndrome isn't just about weight loss, it's also about preventing serious health conditions like diabetes. Have you ever wondered why diets often fail? Let's take a moment to talk about the notorious yo-yo dieting. It's a term you've probably heard before, perhaps you've even experienced it yourself. Yo-yo dieting is when you lose weight, only to gain it back, then lose it again, and so on. It's a frustrating cycle that leaves many of us feeling defeated and hopeless. So why does this happen? Why is it that no matter how hard we try, our diet attempts seem to be in vain? Well, it's because most diets overlook a crucial factor, the underlying issues that contribute to weight gain. The missing piece of the puzzle is often metabolic syndrome. Now, you might be thinking, metabolic what? Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of conditions that occur together, increasing your risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. These conditions include increased blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride levels. In simple terms, it's your body's metabolism going haywire. And when your metabolism isn't functioning properly, losing weight can feel like an uphill battle. Most diets focus solely on calorie intake and exercise. While these are important aspects of weight loss, they're not the be-all and end-all. Without addressing metabolic syndrome, your body is constantly fighting against you, making it nearly impossible to maintain any weight loss. This is why so many diets fail. They're a short-term solution to a long-term problem. They don't address the root cause of weight gain, and they often lead to a cycle of losing and regaining weight, which can be harmful to your health in the long run. So the key to lasting weight loss isn't just dieting, it's managing metabolic syndrome. It's about understanding how your body works and making lifestyle changes that support your metabolism, not fight against it. Remember, it's not a race, it's a journey. And every step you take towards understanding your body is a step towards a healthier, happier you. So the key to lasting weight loss isn't just dieting, it's managing metabolic syndrome. So if diets don't work, what does? Let's delve into the realm of lifestyle solutions. It's not about a fad diet or the latest weight loss trend that promises to shed 10 pounds in a week. It's about a comprehensive, sustainable change in the way we live, eat, move, and think. Imagine our body as a beautifully designed machine, and like any machine, it needs the right fuel to function optimally. This is where the role of a balanced diet steps in. It's not about depriving ourselves of certain food groups or drastically reducing our calorie intake. Instead, it's about embracing a variety of foods that nourish our body, provide energy, and keep us satiated. Incorporating a rainbow of fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats into our meals is a great start. And let's not forget hydration. Drinking plenty of water is essential to keep our body functioning at its best. But a balanced diet is just one piece of the puzzle. Regular exercise goes hand in hand with good nutrition. It's not about running a marathon or spending hours at the gym. It's about finding an activity we enjoy and making it a part of our routine. It could be a brisk walk in the park, a dance class, or a yoga session. The key is to get our heart pumping and our body moving. Exercise not only helps in maintaining a healthy weight, but also improves our mood, boosts energy, and promotes better sleep. Speaking of sleep, let's not underestimate its power. Adequate sleep is a non-negotiable aspect of a healthy lifestyle. It's during sleep that our body repairs and rejuvenates itself. Lack of sleep can wreak havoc on our metabolism, leading to weight gain and increased risk of metabolic syndrome. So let's prioritize those 8 hours of sleep every night. Lastly, stress management plays a crucial role in maintaining a healthy metabolism. Chronic stress can lead to overeating, poor sleep, and neglect of physical activity, all of which can contribute to weight gain and metabolic issues. It's essential to find healthy ways to manage stress, whether it's through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or spending time with loved ones. In essence, managing metabolic syndrome is not about stringent diets or rigorous workout regimes. It's about adopting a lifestyle that includes a balanced diet, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and effective stress management. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time. Remember, it's not about quick fixes, but sustainable lifestyle changes. Because when it comes to our health, it's the marathon, not the sprint, that truly matters. So let's lace up those running shoes, fill our plates with colorful veggies, and embark on this journey to a healthier, happier life. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but does it really work? Well, let's delve into a real-life story. Meet Jane, a woman in her mid-40s who had been wrestling with her weight for years. Jane had tried every diet in the book, from cabbage soup to keto, but nothing seemed to stick. She'd lose a few pounds only to regain them, plus a little extra. Now let's rewind to a year ago. Jane was diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. She had high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar levels, and an unhealthy waist circumference. She felt defeated, thinking her body was working against her, but then she had an epiphany. She realized that her problem wasn't a lack of willpower, but a health condition that needed to be managed. So Jane decided to make a lifestyle change. Instead of focusing on diets and weight loss, she centered her efforts on managing her metabolic syndrome. She started eating balanced meals with plenty of fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. She incorporated regular exercise into her routine and made sure to get enough sleep every night. Slowly but surely, Jane started to see changes, not just on the scale, but in her overall health. Her blood pressure normalized, her blood sugar levels dropped, and she had more energy than she'd had in years. And yes, she also lost weight, not just a few pounds, but a significant amount, 10 kilos to be exact. But the most impressive part, Jane has managed to maintain her weight loss. Why? Because she didn't just go on a diet, she made a lifestyle change. She managed her metabolic syndrome, and in doing so, she took control of her weight. So the next time you're frustrated with your diet, remember, it's not about the diet, it's about managing metabolic syndrome.